And breaking right now, sources say Prince Harry is becoming increasingly terrified about the possibility of a Donald Trump victory. Let me bring in Prince Harry's biographer.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're diving into the explosive revelations from royal biographer Angela Levin. And trust me, this one's a bombshell. Prince Harry is reportedly terrified, his marriage with Meghan Markle is allegedly in crisis, and his future in the United States could be hanging by a thread.
Angela Levin now. Angela, so great to have you back on Outspoken today. What are you hearing? Because we know that there is this ongoing court case involving Harry and his immigration records. Do you think he is concerned about this growing threat of a Trump presidency?
Oh, yes, I think he's terribly concerned about it because, as we know, his relationship with Meghan is a little bit wonky, dodgy, and he's sort of stuck, isn't he? He hasn't really got a home. I don't think he seems to be much at home in Montecito, and he certainly can't rely on getting homes in London. He might be able to go into a hotel, but I don't think people want him. And I heard today several of his friends have decided not to have any more relationship with him because he's been so rude about the royal family that they can't bear it. They think it's completely wrong, and they've just told him to get out of it. So it's a good lesson. You can't actually behave badly to friends you've had for a long time and then suddenly expect them to come back and think that they would like all the rude things you've said. I mean, apparently they won't say what it is because it's been so rude. And so he's obviously in a very difficult place. But if he's done everything correctly, he's got no need to worry. If he hasn't, if he's been sheltered by Biden and co, if he hasn't done everything perfectly, then there will be trouble. I mean, the son of thing is he says that
Eric Trump.
Yeah, Trump. They don't care actually because he and Meghan don't count for anything. But I read something in the paper this evening that actually his father has said that we'll have to see if they know something about the drugs. And if he's lied, they'll have to take appropriate action. So it's more serious than what Eric has said.
What's going on behind the scenes in Montecito? Stick around because we're breaking it all down, segment by segment. First up, let's talk about the elephant in the room, Donald Trump. If he wins the 2024 election, Prince Harry could face serious immigration scrutiny.
On the table, it definitely is on the table. And that's what's so fascinating to me. I mean, look, you're giving Harry the benefit of the doubt, I guess, because we haven't seen it. But if you just think about it practically, Angela, there is no way the guy wrote on his immigration entry form, "Oh yes, I did lots of illegal hard drugs with Courtney Cox in America." Like, there's just no way he did that because there would have been a big concern and his lawyers would have said, "Are you absolutely crazy? What on earth are you doing?" And he would have had immigration lawyers who were looking after this. But the problem is his stupidity, his arrogance, his front was actually writing about it in Spare because now he can't deny it. Or he's going to have to say, "Oh no, Spare was a whole load of made up nonsense," which, let's be honest, on the whole it was.
No, but he has said that. He's actually tried to get out of that and said, well, I said that sort of thing because I wanted to sell more copies. But that is incredibly dangerous. And I don't understand why nobody helped him. I don't know why Meghan didn't help him, because most people show something like that great big biography of himself for their partner to read. The company should have looked at it. The lawyer should have looked at it. There's plenty of people there who could have helped him. And I find it very strange. Either he absolutely decided he wanted that in there to prove what a sort of gay man
cool
he is.
Dude he is.
Or not. I mean, it's very difficult to understand it. He's made it very, very, very difficult for himself, as he had about shooting Afghanistan's. Why did he say that? Because more people are after him and he needs more protection, and that makes him very nervous.
Exactly. I mean, I'm sorry. The guy's a fool. Can I just be honest about it, Angela? The guy is a fool because he's made such a big deal about his security, not having security. Then he goes and makes himself the number one target for the Taliban and for Al Qaeda. And we know that Al Qaeda is developing again in Europe. So the guy is a fool and he has put himself at risk. What's interesting, Angela, is what you're saying about his old friends, though, because there had been some hope that some of the friends in Britain who he had ghosted were going to be at least open to taking Harry back. But it's interesting. I spoke, this was a couple of months ago now, but I spoke to one of his old friends from back in the day, and God, they were so negative about him. They were so negative about him. And interestingly, they have all sided with William.
Why? Because in his own memoir, Spare, Harry admitted to taking illegal drugs. And that could mean big trouble if he didn't disclose that on his visa application. Deportation, it's not off the table. Here's the kicker. Harry has no home base anymore.
Yes, I'm not surprised at that. And I think they would also be with the royal family because they would have gone round, they would have seen them, they would have been able to analyse them themselves. And perhaps some of them were to do with them, the army, and they just find that very difficult. I think it was a very foolish thing to do, but to come back to people after a long time where you haven't been bothered with them and you didn't want any notice to be taken by them, suddenly to go back and want to see them again, people aren't going to be just sitting there waiting, and I think they feel rather snubbed. And so why should they actually drop everything and help him? Because I think he is in a very difficult time now, but that's his own fault.
And Prince Harry's not moving to Portugal after all.
No. This is very interesting, actually. I never thought they would be going to Portugal because I couldn't imagine Meghan would. But what they're going to do, that's their first house they've bought, and they're going into the property business. So they are buying lots of different of houses, small and big, and to make a load of money. So they'll use the Netflix money that they have, and they can then, keep people in there.
So it's a financial play. It's a straight financial play.
Yes, it seems to be like that.
Okay, well, that's fine.
I think that, well, that's all right. I don't know whether they would actually pop into their house that they're getting and just see the cousins, but I don't think they will, actually. I think that was just another thing to get them on the front pages.
Angela, you're being told that Harry's pursuit of legal action against the Home Office is putting or blocking any hope of a reconciliation with the King.
Yes. Well, apparently the King, as any father would feel, he wants to get closer to his son, and he does really want to see the grandchildren. But it's very difficult for him to do that because if there was that connection, maybe the Home Office would bring him into the problem of what's going on and actually involving taxpayers with paying for Harry's safety when he's not doing anything for the royal family. I think that's the problem, and I don't think he wants to get tied up with that. And also, Harry keeps on about he wants an apology for Meghan, and he wants some sort of statement about closing how much money he should get from his father, as if it was a business and he'd been sacked, that he would want money to benefit him. But I don't think King Charles is going to do that. I think there's quite strong things around him, particularly William, and he doesn't want to upset William. He doesn't want to put William off, and he's actually doing brilliantly at the moment. And William wants nothing to do with Harry, and for two reasons. One is that Harry wants to look after their younger two children because he doesn't want to get them to be like him, spare, but they don't want Harry, or William definitely doesn't want Harry interfering with his own family. And the other one is that he can't forgive him for what he said about Princess Catherine. And it was appalling, saying that she was just the right shape and
Oh, it was
personality
awful.
fitted into the royal family.
It was
He
awful.
married for love.
Well,
And
look,
I think, William has hated that.
He doesn't feel at home in the United States, isn't welcome in the United Kingdom, and the public is losing interest. Hollywood? Already shifting attention elsewhere. It's a royal identity crisis unfolding in real time.
And you can see that they are very close to each other. In any case, it's not something you would ever say
no.
about your brother or your
No.
sister-in-law.
Well, look, I want to talk more about that, Angela, in the Uncancelled After Show, which you can subscribe to on my Substack. But I think it's really important we get to the breaking news now, which is that Queen Camilla is unwell. She has been forced to pull out of Thursday's Field of Remembrance with a chest infection. She's going to be represented by the Duchess of Gloucester. But Buckingham Palace has released a statement today saying the Queen is currently unwell with a chest infection for which her doctors have advised a short period of rest. With great regret, Her Majesty has therefore had to withdraw from her engagements for this week, but she very much hopes to be recovered in time to attend this weekend's remembrance events as normal. She apologises to all those who may be inconvenienced or disappointed as a result. And we're told, Angela, that Her Majesty the Queen is currently resting privately at home. Now, look, usually you could argue, minor illness, but given everything we've gone through over the past few months, number one, we know that the royal family don't like pulling out of events. And number two, we know that sometimes when things are bad, we're not told about it. So you are the biographer of Queen Camilla. What can you tell us about her health?
Well, I mean, she was a very, very heavy smoker. So that actually leads her to be more vulnerable towards chest things. She's had COVID twice, and she has often, not often, but occasionally she does have to retire because she's got something wrong in her throat or something like that in chest. And I think she needs to be really careful. The problem was that when she was in Australia, that it was pouring with rain and she never moved. She didn't try and get out of it. And when they were just flying home, the rain was just bolting down, and it was very just what you don't need if you're in your late 70s and you've got a very long flight. And I think that's probably what's given her the chest. But the at the remembrance, it was very important to her because her father was a war hero, and the two of them were very, very close. And she admired him so much, and he got two awards. And I think that she would have come if she can, but I think she's got to be very careful. And, if you get a bad throat or chest, you can, if you're older, be much more easily taken by pneumonia. And we don't want that at all. So she really does need to be very careful and to rest. I mean, they were both working incredibly hard. And in a way, it shows that, King Charles went terrifically strongly there. But I mean, she maybe is a little more fragile and has worked so hard, the tiredness of being different time and non-stop working, loving it. But actually, it is a lot for someone of her age and vulnerability.
So, where does Harry go from here? No friends, no home, a marriage under fire, and a possible deportation on the horizon. Angela Levin didn't just drop gossip, she dropped receipts. The walls are closing in, and it might just be the beginning. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Is Harry a victim of circumstance or the architect of his own downfall? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.